Alrighty. Amazing. So this is time when it doesn't show that you're live, but you are actually live. So I'm just going to double check. Awesome. Is Emmett coming out today?
He's got his apple.
He's got his apple.
Yeah.
How did it go with the... Oh my goodness, Jeanette, hi. That was fast, super speedy. How was speaking to the school, play school?
Oh, today would have been his first day for the week as well, but
Okay.
he accidentally got locked out of the house this morning, so he didn't go to daycare.
Oh, what such a shame, such a shame. Right, okay, so we are live. I am going to do my usual welcomes. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on this video. I am here with my amazing client. This is Sarah and Emmett, who will be clearly making an appearance. There, look at that face. I mean, look at those eyes. Sarah, in the last 3 months, has gone from constant and extreme fatigue, right? And she's just told me, and I've just realized that she was on 4 cups of coffee a day, constant belly cramps, low appetite. And now she's working out, feeling great, feeling confident around food. Please stop me if any of these are not true. And starting slowly to build a business. This is amazing. And today I want to talk about some of the things most helpful for her. And it's just been 3 months, right? We've got another 3 months to go at minimum. So we've got so much space to grow even more. We've only just started creating a brand new baseline. So I'm super happy to be here. Thank you so much for coming. I very much appreciate it. This is all the perks of being a mum, right? Is that he gets to still love it too. Amazing. So I think Sarah, hopefully by the end, will share a couple of tips for her that were the most helpful along her journey. So if any of you are struggling with severe fatigue, constant bloating, pains, you want to stop consuming so much coffee, then this is the one for you. So what was going on before? Like, take me back 3 months ago to the Sarah that when we first talked was, and I can tell you now, I can assure you that you have completely changed. Like, your energy, even just showing up to the calls, is completely different. And I'm not saying that on camera. I am not saying that because this is recorded. I swear to God, your energy is just so different. I wish I'd recorded our first session so I could put them side by side.
Yeah.
Tell us what was going on before.
I was definitely, like you said, heavily reliant on coffee, but I also didn't feel like it did anything to actually help my energy anyway. I just kept drinking it, hoping that it would help. And I would skip a lot of meals because I either didn't have the time to eat or I didn't have the energy to make anything to eat. And so I just wouldn't. And because of that, my appetite just went down and down and down, and so did my metabolism. And it'd end up just kind of being like maybe one decent meal a day with a few like picking at some snacks and coffee. And then that turned into like extreme gut pain and like not even joking 24/7 bloating. Like there wasn't a minute in the day where I wasn't bloated, and it was so painful and uncomfortable that when I did then eat, because my stomach was so upset already, it just made it worse. So I then got into a stage of having like quite a lot of anxiety around food because I wasn't sure what was going to make the cramping even worse and the bloating even worse. So then that would also lead me to just not eating because I didn't know what to eat. So yeah, just keep getting stuck in those scared phases of not wanting to eat, really.
Yeah. And you said that you had no appetite. Like, how can you explain that a little bit, like, so we can understand in terms of like what no appetite for you was like? Because I remember you were like, yeah, I don't have breakfast and I don't really eat anything. And I'm like, and you're wondering why you're low in energy, but you don't need to, but you're not eating anything. But it was fixing the underlying cause of why you weren't eating in the first place, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because I remember like years ago having a crazy appetite and like being able to eat so much food because I was just hungry all the time. So I knew that this wasn't like me to not be hungry. Um, but I think the fear of having more pain and being in pain already just kind of stopped any hunger cues. And then just being too tired to even like eat, really. Like, well, it takes energy to, eat a meal, and I don't have that energy, so I just won't. I think the more I did that, the less often I then actually would feel hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't actually like I'd never wake up first thing in the morning and be like, oh, I'm so hungry because I haven't eaten all night. It was just like, yeah, no, I'll just have a coffee,
Mm-hmm.
hope I wake up. But never actually had that hunger feeling in my stomach.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which is funny because a lot of people that come to me are kind of wanting they want to not feel that hunger, right? So you've come to me from a very different perspective. It's not been for weight loss, it's been for energy, right? And feeling good in your body, feeling good and confident around food. But it's also so important for even those, I just wanted to have a little caveat here, for even those that are wanting to lose weight, regardless of what your goals are, it is so important to listen to your body. And, we're not, Sarah's not talking about like waking up and eating food regardless. It's more of the fact that you actually have an appetite now. Would that be right to say?
Yeah. Yeah, which is exciting. Like I remember when I wake up in the morning and I'm actually hungry, I'm like, oh, this is nice. Like, oh, you wake up and like, I remember just like after we'd been working together for a while, and just one day I was like, hey, I'm not bloated. And I was like, I forgot what it feels like to not be bloated. And I was like,
Yeah.
my clothes fit properly.
That's amazing. Can you just before I quickly move on, can you explain that bloating side for me as well? Like obviously I feel like we all get bloating from time to time, but yours was quite severe as well. I think you and Debbie had quite serious and severe bloating and discomfort there. So could you explain what that was
Yeah.
like?
It was just like my entire abdomen, not just like a little bit down the bottom or something. Like the whole abdomen was just so bloated and hard and tight constantly. It just felt like my intestines were just like in a constant tense.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing I was doing was helping to, it just felt like it needed to relax.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing I was doing was helping it. You try all the normal things like heat packs and drinking more water. And at first I was like, well, maybe it's just something that'll pass when I wake up tomorrow, it'll be gone.
Mm-hmm.
It was honestly constant 24/7. And the pain was like so bad. And then I started to feel nauseous with it as well. It was terrible. It was like just awful.
Mm. And you were doing all the things that you thought that you were supposed to do. Like, I just want to highlight what you just said there. Like,
Yeah.
you were eating plant-based foods. You pretty much, I mean, I don't think you deviated from that at all, did you? You were always whole food plant-based when we
Yeah.
met. So you were eating whole food plant-based, eating as healthy as you possibly could.
Yeah.
Like you said, heat packs and drinking more water. And it must have felt like no matter what you're doing, it's just not working. It doesn't seem to work. And you're like, maybe if I just not eat, or if I skip it.
Yeah.
And in fact, it wasn't getting any better at that stage, was it?
Yeah. No, because I was like, maybe I've overeaten and I need to just like not go on a hunger strike type of thing, but just give my gut a day to settle. But even that like didn't do anything.
Yeah, because then when you'd eat next, then it would like re-trigger
Yeah,
that response, right?
yeah.
Totally understand. So where are you now? What's changed? Has anything changed?
Yes. I'm eating, which is great, and I'm excited about eating and excited about food, and making meals, and just knowing that I can eat it and not having that fear of, is it gonna hurt? Um, and not relying so much on coffee,
How many do you
which is
usually have a
good.
day?
Well, now I have a maximum of 2.
Two, max. And usually
Maximum.
that's not a usual thing, is it? Because you told me that
Oh,
you
well, not today.
teas, there we go. Usually you have
Yeah,
teas and water. And
yeah.
also, I just want to make a note as well. In your staff room where you work, you mentioned a few weeks ago that they would bring in like biscuits and stuff. And so instead of having actual food, you'd have like the biscuits and think that that was giving you enough sugar. So like, how has your perception on food changed now?
Um, I
If
think
any.
especially in regards to, I guess, the fear of being in pain and discomfort is still there, but it also acts as the motivator to like stick to what I know I need to be eating. So like if whereas before I'd be like, oh, I'll just quickly have a cupcake or something, or a coffee, and that's my morning tea, and I'll keep going. Whereas now I'm like, I just like look at those kind of processed foods, and I'm like, nope, that's gonna hurt.
Mhm,
I'll stick to the overnight oats that I've made that I know won't hurt and will actually give me some fuel. Um, and then I can like I enjoy those foods more now, knowing that it's not going to cause discomfort. So
mhm.
I'm not as what is it like? I'm
Tempted.
not as intrigued or like enticed by all those other snacky foods now.
For sure. And we're starting to get Emmett into a few healthy routines as well, aren't we?
Yes,
Which is
yes, doing all these things, which is it's just so cool that we can apply all the things that we've been applying for me over the past few months onto him
mm,
so that we can get him to have a happy gut
mhm,
as well.
absolutely. And you're even going to be starting up a new business.
Yes.
Excellent. Tell us about that if you wish, in terms of like before, like the energy that you had before and versus now to do this, or motivation.
Yes. So I had set up a vegan meal prep business when Emmett was very young, and then put it on pause when we moved states, and then up here I was like, yeah, I'll start it up again.
Hmm.
But then it got to the point where I was like, "Ah, I don't have the energy for that or the time for that. Like, I can't even play with my son on my days off or after work. Why would I be able to do something like that as well?"
Hmm.
Um, Whereas now I'm like super keen to get back into it again because I have energy of an afternoon after work. Like today was insanely crazy, and I've had one coffee and I finished late, and I still have energy to, play with my son.
Mhm.
Um, and also now that now that I'm not in pain all the time, it's also helped to like spark my creativity in the kitchen again, and like creating some new meals with like a predominantly whole food base.
Mhm. Brilliant, excellent. And you're starting to post some pictures in the group as well, in your Facebook page, sorry, for your business. So I can see that the cogs are turning and you're starting to get there. We've
Yep.
got some goals in place.
Yeah.
And you're putting the right conditions in place, getting Emmett involved, rearranging your kitchen. So it's super exciting just to see that you have been able to repurpose all of this brand new energy and put it into something that serves you as well, right?
Yeah,
So
it's exciting.
So proud. How difficult were all these changes? Like I mean, totally, I don't know what you're going to respond to this, but a lot of people will be like, I don't have time to make changes. I don't have, I'm a busy person. Maybe they're a mom, maybe they're not a parent. Maybe they just work like 10 to 12 hours a day. What would you say in terms of like the amount of time that it's taken to make this change, like on a day-to-day, like on a granular level?
Yeah. Not a whole lot when especially when you compare how you feel not doing it. So with like doing the food diary, that was a really big thing that helped us work out some stuff. That doesn't take much time to do that.
Triggers, didn't we?
Yes. So like it didn't take much time to do that, but it led to huge like answers. And same with the like setting up new habits, like around sleep and bedtime and a bedtime routine. That might take an extra, half hour to in the wind up to bed. But if I don't do those things, I have a terrible night. So it's like, I don't know, those other like the little motivators are enough for me to want to keep doing it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And little tiny steps at a time, it was, I personally don't feel, please correct me, but I personally don't feel like we changed a whole huge amount at once. And it was just like little bits to go, little mindset shifts.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing. Okay, so I want to go over 3 things that have been really helpful for you. I always ask my clients this because it's really nice to hear that something might resonate for one person and something might resonate for another person. I might tell 2 people that have the similar issues, the same thing, but it hits with one person, it doesn't hit with something else. So, I mean, what would be the first thing that you would say that made a huge difference for you?
The breathing techniques. Oh my gosh, the 5-5-7, like before and during meals. That was, I think, a huge contributor to reducing the pain in my stomach. And even the like reducing the anxiety around eating as well. It helped a lot with it.
Here he is. Amazing. So breathing, it is super important. If you don't know what Sarah means, by all means, put a message underneath. Breathing, really activating that or deactivating the stress response, because we're constantly operating within it, and being able to take a moment to be present with your food. Okay, that's number 1. You've got 2 more.
Yes, the second one would be the food diary. That was huge. Like it's probably the most simple. Like just write down what you eat, and at what times. And then, but that was what led us to the biggest answers. Like that kind of ties in with the traffic lights list of foods, so that we could like put things in categories. What sits well, what doesn't, what's a maybe, and then go from there with meals.
Amazing. So do a food diary, because it is the easiest way to spot patterns and I guess like anomalies. When you eat something, you might think it's healthy, or you're doing something, maybe you're super busy, and then you notice that your lifestyle, what you're eating, what you're doing at that moment has created a huge impact, and you'll start to pick up patterns and and notice where that is. So that was awesome as well. And that only we only did that for a week or two before I was just like, and
I think it was I think it was 2 weeks, and you were like, have you noticed that when you eat this, the next day you feel this, or that afternoon you feel this? I was like, no. What? And then, that was one of our biggest triggers.
Yeah, huge. And now Emmett's.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, third top tip that has really helped you.
Third one. Oh, I had it just a second ago and now it's gone.
Sorry.
That's okay. The meal plate.
Okay, please explain.
The list, like
the magic. Know about meal plates.
Okay, so the magic meal plate
is now, girl.
Something that Bianca is designed for you to just. Well, there's two options. There's the just visual plate of what your plate should look like, and then there's a list of what to put in those categories, and it just makes meal prepping so easy to be able to have all the different categories on one plate and go, okay, I've got something from this column, something from this column, this and this. Okay, I've got a whole balanced meal. And it just saves so much thinking, which then saves time.
Yeah, of course. I think the most important thing with that to kind of really emphasize variety, right? And it's so easy to get stuck in the same old thing. If anyone's watching from the UK, I guarantee you broccoli, peas and carrots are your typical veg. Like, do you Aussies have like typical veg? It's probably just salad, isn't it, right?
Probably potato.
So it's really easy to get stuck in the familiarities of the food that you've always had, like I said, over here it's potatoes, peas, carrots, and broccoli, like they seem to be the ones that we always have. But you want variety, but to think of variety every single week can be stressful. It's it takes up a lot of energy and a lot of time. So what Sarah's talking about is I've just broken it down very, very simply and just written out a list of, right, these aren't everything, but these are just some ideas that you can have, and you can just pull and drop them in and away you go. Super easy, super simple. Oh, excellent. Well, thank you so much. So just for anyone who's watching a bit like, I'm not too sure where you've come and gone from. So just to recap, Sarah has made some incredible progress over just 3 months. We've got another 3 months to go, and then maybe we've got some more time, depending on your goals, depending on how far you want to dial into your habits as well. But she's gone from drinking 4 cups of coffee a day, severe bloating, like severe cramps, constantly eating the right foods, but actually not experiencing what it should be like if you're actually eating the right foods, right? So this misconception of I've been eating the healthy foods, but they've not actually been healthy for you. So understanding what your body needed in that moment as well has been super important, I would say. Constant fatigue. You said that you've struggled to find enough energy to play with Emmett, your son, afterwards. So gone from there to energized, about to start your own business. You're going to be a badass businesswoman, taking Emma out on walks after work, even if it's been a busy day, listening to your body, understanding exactly what it needs, having more confidence around food, and totally reducing anxiety around food as well.
I think that was probably the most like the biggest shift that has been nice, is because it was sad to be anxious to eat. Like, you should enjoy food. It's it's something that people do because they enjoy it as well, not just because you have to survive. So it was sad to have that anxiety around eating. So it's really lovely to not have that anymore.
Amazing. Beautiful. Is there anything else you would like to share with anyone who might be struggling or thinking about getting some help, but they might be on the fence? Sorry to throw you in front of the bus there.
Like, I'd already seen, the mainstream health professionals to try and help, and you know, like you've experienced yourself, they kind of just push things like nutrition and gut health to the side rather than highlighting how important it is. I was just super lucky to have come across you because you have such a, like, you take such an individualized, holistic approach to everything that you don't get from a lot of other people that are supposed to be trying to help you. So it's just made such a huge difference.
Beautiful. And you know what, I was thinking about bringing out like a program where people can just join and like a self-paced course, right? But that's exactly what you said. You don't get that individualized approach. Yeah, it would be a great idea to maybe help someone transition or lose a little bit of weight, but it's really difficult to get that to get nitty gritty into what works for you. And like you said, it's so important to, you know, someone else who's whole food plant-based, we're both whole food plant-based, but what I eat, you couldn't eat, and what you eat, I could probably eat. So, you know, we still have completely different bodies, and it's really important to find out exactly what works for you specifically. And that's what we did from the get-go.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your time and your effort. And I'll just pretty much hang up. And if you need anything, you know where to find me, Sarah.
Okay.
And we'll jump on the same time tomorrow. We've got a coaching call tomorrow.
Yes.
Excellent. We've talked about everything already, so I don't know what we're going to talk about. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching this live or on replay, let us know. You can jump off if you want, Sarah, it's totally up to you, but just to let you know, or to let everyone watching know, I'm going to be hosting a challenge in the upcoming couple of weeks. I haven't told you about this, Sarah. I'll be doing a 3-day how to quit emotional eating to lose weight at any age challenge. It's going to be totally free. I don't want you there because don't want to overwhelm you with information. You are exactly where you need to be in personalized coaching and one-to-one coaching. But this is a free challenge. There will be replays available for 48 hours. If you are interested, please drop a comment below and I will send you the details. Thank you so much for joining me, Sarah.
That's okay. Thank you. Bye.
You're most welcome. Bye.